what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Walmart Right Lane Truckin coming at you. It is what is today? Wednesday. Wednesday. My Tuesday. So I don't know if I'll be able to get my Taco Tuesday. Let's see how far I get and whether I get tacos at. So I woke up this morning, got ready to go deliver that load at that DC there and check my dispatch. So the dispatch had me going to another vendor down here in SoCal and then taking that load all the way to Red Bluff. So that load, I dropped the trailer over at the other location, found it empty, and got out of there. Now that load, the vendor is here in San Pedro, California. San Pedro. Yeah. So from where I'm at, I'm all the way over off of 60 and the 15. 60 and the 15. Got to get all the way over towards 110 and into San Pedro. So it's what, southwest of where I was at. So there was a lot of traffic. But the good thing is, this is my hometown or area. Hometown area. I grew up in next to LAX. So I'm very familiar with this area, very familiar with the freeways. So when you talk to somebody from SoCal, they ask you for directions, or you ask them for directions, you're going to expect this. Yeah. Take the 405 to the 110 to the 91 to the 71 to the 57. Yeah, and then get on the 60 and head east. So we don't say which direction, we just say get on. Get on the freeway and go. So yeah, I'm here. Been waiting for a little bit. I've taken my meal. I just went in and told them, hey, I got to get going, asking them how much longer it's going to be. They told me an hour. Well, I've been here almost an hour now. So, and that's with my 30-minute meal. And they finally opened up my door and are starting to load. So he said a half an hour to 45 minutes, so I should be loaded and rolling. So yeah, I drove by the San Pedro port here, and man, the ships are just packed in there, and they're trying to offload the stuff. I think, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell when you're driving whether the cranes are actually moving. So I can't see much from here, but I'll turn around so you guys can see. In the back there, right over in the back over there are the cranes, and so the Vincent Thomas Bridge is right over there, and yeah, so it's a good day. It's a beautiful day. I can't complain about the day. It's just gorgeous. Right over here on the other side, on those hills there, that's the San Pedro Hills, and then on the other side of that is Rancho Palos Verdes. And then you get into Redondo Beach, then Hermosa Beach, El Porto, Manhattan Beach, El Porto, and then where I lived in El Segundo. So it's not too far from here. So this is like my stomping grounds. This is where I cut wood when I was young. So I'm very familiar with the area. So when the nav systems tell me to go one way, I said, not taking that route. I know what's down there. So I was able to avoid some of the traffic that would be on the 605 and just cut across 57 to 91 and 91 to 110. So I'm not sure how I'm going to leave out of here. Might take 110 all the way down as far as I can, but that takes you right into LA. Then if you cut across, say 110 to 105 to the 405, that'll take you through not Hollywood, but Santa Monica, that area, and it gets kind of backed up there too. So I'm going to hit traffic. I just know it. I'm just going to hit traffic no matter which direction I go. I'm not going to backtrack to 710 or 605. That just wouldn't be feasible. So we'll see what I do. If I take the 110 to the 405, it will give me a distance. And normally, at least through the South Bay area, the traffic is heading east or south, I guess, 405 south, on the way home, and they're heading north on the way into work. So if I'm going north, I should get at least through past the airport, and then start hitting traffic going through Culver City and into Santa Monica and that area. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, I'll update when I get there. But yeah, this is my hometown. I love it. All right, talk to you guys later. What's up, everybody? Hey, look at that sunset. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? It's coming over the top there. Sun's starting to go down, so these shades are going to have to come off soon. But I just stopped for my second meal. Just thought I would check in, let you know where I'm at. I made it to Kettleman City so far. Traffic, like I said, I knew it would. Started backing up right through Culver City into Santa Monica, up over the hills into Ventura, and yeah, it's normal traffic through the LA area. So there's Wally right behind me parked, and I had to stop and get me something to eat. So I'm thinking, yeah, I know it's Taco Tuesday, and I was gonna make it to my taco place and just couldn't find a good taco place, so I figured, why not come here to Kettleman City? I know this area well. We used to do a lot of meetups right here, meaning with the trucks, not like a group or a riding group or anything, we used to do an exchange here. And for those that have never been here, pretty cool. You got this area right over there. It's called Bravo Farms, and you go in there. They've got shops, and then a restaurant, and then they got a kids play area. And so I had to stop and get me some In-N-Out. So I got to eat that up and get on the road and see how far I'm going to get. My guess is, God, it's going to be tough. I might make it to Willow tonight. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, I got to get on the road. Otherwise, I won't make it to Willow. So, got to go. Bye. Hey, everyone. It's Phil from Walmart Right Lane Truckin, and I am parked for the night. Yeah. I did not make it to Willow's. I was doing the math. I would have made it had the vendor not taken so long. I would have definitely made it to Willow's. I just didn't have enough juice to get there tonight. So I elected to cut bait and try out Love's here in Williams. And it's a nice Love's. It's very nice, actually. It's relatively new. But coming in at late hours, you're not going to find any truck parking usually. And unlike, I could have stopped in Dunnigan like I have before and just gone in the reserve parking. But I didn't want to stop in Dunnigan. The Flying J there it's all right. It is what it is. But this Love's is really nice. I like it. It's actually really nice. And the people there are nice. And at least over on the truck side, you could hear them, welcome to Love's, like the welcome to Subway, or, that kind of greeting. But it's a greeting, and you don't usually get that. So I hope it was sincere. That's the only way I would want it. I don't like fake hellos. Say hello. Mean it. Alright, so I made it to Love's here in Williams. Adjusted my ETD. And then got off the clock. I still put in a full day, unfortunately. Or fortunately, however you want to look at it. So my day was 13 hours, 43 minutes, and 54 seconds. So yeah, almost a full day. So Wednesday, Thursday, or my Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday for all you, I'm going to have to conserve a couple hours here and a couple hours there, or 1 hour here, 1 hour there, for me to really get a good bang for my extension on Sunday. But that just reminds me, I got to talk to my management team, because I want to make sure my Saturday and Sunday last week, I get the weekend mileage rate for those days on my paycheck. But yeah, pretty uneventful. Now, you know what's nice is I don't get down to SoCal too often, especially working. And you know, you all are gonna be like, man, this guy has lived everywhere. So where I was in San Pedro today, not too far from there is Torrance. And I lived in Torrance. My grandfather lived there first, and then when he unfortunately passed away, we moved into that residence in Torrance. I also lived in Gardena, which is real close to there, off of the 91 110 area. Just up from there is where I lived in Gardena, and then El Segundo, obviously. I lived in Redondo Beach, and when I lived in Redondo Beach, I worked in Ontario, so I commuted from Redondo Beach to Ontario every day. And so, like I said earlier, I am so familiar with all the freeways there. And, you know, there's so many choices. I mean, you got the east-west running freeways, and then you got the north-south running freeways. And they're it's like a grid. And you just know which ones go where. And, you know, you got the 210 closest to the mountains, and then the 10, then the 60, then the 91, then the 405. Those kind of all come out that way. Then you got the 605. You got the 15, the 605, the 710, and the 110, and then 405 again, because it kind of runs the same way as the 605 and the 710 does. So, like, the 110 will take you into San Pedro, where the 710 will take you into Long Beach. So, hence the Long Beach Freeway, is what they call it. Then I lived in San Diego, so the 405 is also known as, in that area, is known as the San Diego Freeway, or the Freeway to San Diego. And yeah, so that whole area is funny. Is the vendor that I picked up today from, when I got over there and I was pulling up, it was like I'd been there before. It's not, I'd never been to that vendor, but that area. And because I took my motorcycle safety course at Harbor Occupational College, which is right down from there, and then I got my license. I had to take the written test at the DMV right off of Gaffey, which is right there where I was today. And I passed right by the DMV that I got my license for my motorcycle license. So again, knowing the area is half the battle. If you don't know the areas that you're going, the old day was, I think I've said this before, my dad gave me a Thomas guidebook. And he had every, I think it was a full, United States Thomas guidebook. But I used to study it, and if I wanted to go somewhere. And then I mentioned I used to take the bus quite a bit when I was young. And in order to know what bus lines you wanted to go, you had to know a little bit about the maps and where they ran versus where streets you needed to go to. So again, you looked at the maps and you looked at the routes. And my brother was really big on the RTD. He took the RTD everywhere. But he had a shoebox full of every single bus route there was. If you said, hey, Kenny, I need to go here, he would go to the shoebox, pull out, just start pulling them out and go, okay, you need to take this one, and then get off here, and then get on this one to go there, and then get off that one and go here. And it's much like, back then, I don't know how it is now because I don't take the bus. But I've been to New York, visited New York, and it's kind of the same way. You instead of a bus, you take the train. And you have to get off this train to get on that train to go to do this. I was there, and they were doing work on one of the rails or something like that. And all you hear is, rah, 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 rah. It's like the Peanuts parents, right? On Charlie Brown. And you're like, what did he just say? We have to do what? And all the other New Yorkers are like, yeah, you got to get off of this one, get on the other one, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. They understood him. I didn't understand him. But they were saying you had to get off of this train, go onto the platform, wait for the next train, and it'll take you to here and everything else. And the hotel I was staying at there in New York, I had asked the concierge, what trains to take to get down to downtown Manhattan and everything. And so he told me, he goes, well, okay, you can go out here, take this bus, take it to the Jamaica station, and then get on this line to go downtown. But don't come back that way if you're coming back later at night. Come this route to this route and go to the airport and call us and we'll come get you. All right. I'm guessing it wasn't as safe at night as it was, because he looked at his watch and he was like, yeah, you could take the bus. But he said, don't take it on the way back. So, you got to know your way around, guys. That's part of being a truck driver, part of being a driver, part of being human. We got to be able to get around. And, you can't, I guess you could stay in your little bubble all the time. And, I don't know. I've never been that way. I like to explore. I like to get lost and find my way out, because that's how you know it. That's when you learn it. Yeah. So today was a good day. I mean, not much activity. Not much activity at all. I don't know if they expected me to get this load. I didn't even look at the due date on it, really. But there's no way I could have got this load picked up and delivered today. There's just no way. Because I'm 60, almost 70 miles away from the DC right now. And I've already got 540 miles. So I know they didn't think I was going to be able to do 600 miles in one day. It just wasn't going to happen. As it is, I got 540 miles in. And with 2.5 hours at the vendor, about 2.5 hours at the vendor, there was no way I was getting 600 miles in. So, safety topics. Again, I will say this, and I'll keep saying it. Stay within your abilities. I came down the grapevine today. And it's a 35 mile an hour downhill truck speed limit for us. Do I feel that that's too low? Maybe, right? But it's pretty steep. And you can get some really good serious speed if you're not controlling it. But we're all in line on the right side, and we're just cruising along, and the guy in front of me just kept putting on his brakes. I mean, he wasn't like holding them for long periods of time, but he was on and off the brake a lot. I didn't even touch my brake. I have 20,000 pounds of product on here, bicycles and whatnot. I just put it in, I used my Jake brake and put it all the way down to 3. And then I think I was in 9th or 10th gear. And it just held me. And matter of fact, it was holding me too much. And, yet these other guys are on and off their brakes the whole way down. I don't understand that. I know each tractor is different. I know each load is different. I know each driver is different. But I rarely touch those brakes unless I have to. So, and again, we're only going 35 miles an hour. Cover the brake. Be ready to touch the brake. But if you don't have to, then don't use it. So that's that part. Now, this is the real serious one, guys. Winter weather is here. And maybe it's hit other locations a lot harder than it has hit us here in California. But winter weather is here. And it'll be off and on raining through our valley. Off and on snow flurries over the passes. So be prepared. When I got in yesterday, yeah. God, it seems like I've been here all week already. When I got in yesterday, not knowing where I'm going, we have our chain racks, and our chain racks are hooked up with padlocks. Well, inside the cab, we have the keys to the padlocks. I say keys because there's a whole bunch of keys. Well, I found out on this tractor, only one key operates both those locks. I don't know what the other keys go to. I really don't. But I thought they went at least maybe duplicates to each of them. Anyway, my point is, I got out the keys and I went during my pre-trip to unlock the locks and make sure I can get to the chains before having to get to them in cold weather up on the hill. Get me? So I struggled getting them because nobody's unlocked them in a while, since probably last season. And so I had to get out some WD-40 and put it in the locking mechanism to get them to unfreeze. And when I say freeze, they're kind of just binded up in there. So I was able to get them off and put them back on and kind of lubricate it so that the locks operate properly. But prepared for that. I have another jacket, but this is my bigger jacket. You know, I've got a big jacket with the nice lining inside. It's not a Walmart jacket. This is a jacket I've had since I worked at the airports. And it's got high vis on it, all around it, so that if I do go out and chain or anything else, I've got a big, thick jacket to go out there in, and then I got pants to go with it. Yes, I broke it out because I walked over to, I'm parked not in the truck I'm not actually in Love's. I'm actually out on the street. So I walked across into Love's, and it was raining, but it's not hard. It's just more of a sprinkle. But I didn't know if it was going to be pouring by the time I came out. So, but prepare yourself. Check your tires. If the tires don't have enough tread on them, get them replaced. If you don't have enough chains, make sure you have enough chains. Extra chains, bungees. Some people use just the regular black bungees and then have several of those for each wheel to hold the chains on. We have the orange ones that have the center hole and then they come out. So I did a count of how many of those we had to make sure that we had enough in this tractor for what we need, and we do. Kind of organized a little bit better in there, and just prepared myself just in case I had to go and do any chaining this week. But be prepared. I would say, like I said, I had to get something to eat earlier. I have not been doing my due diligence. I used to, when I first started, or when I first was coming on, I'd go to the store before my go out day, do all my shopping, and then bring it and load it up in the truck. And then I started getting lazy. And then because I was going to a store every day, and go get my load, go to a store on my meal, shop, stock up. Well, they haven't been sending me to stores. They're sending me to vendors. And then to a DC that doesn't have anything either. So it hasn't produced that I could use that this week or even last week at the beginning. So I've had to plan a meal or something like that. So that's why I stopped for In-N-Out. That's why I stopped for Taco Tuesday last week. I might have stopped for tacos anyway, but that's beside the point, even if I have food in here. But my point to this is, during winter weather, I do have some snacks in here, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to find yourself shut down for hours and hours, and you can't go anywhere and you don't have any kind of food in your truck. So make sure you bring some waters, some drinks, and some food, snacks, whatever. If you don't have a microwave, bring something else, right? I mean, I've got this is my truck. It's just, last week I left the power source in the other truck, so I can't use my LEDs this week. But be prepared for the weather. Now, adjust your driving accordingly. Coming through Sac, there was, on the way here, before Sac, there was a guy in an Amazon Prime, pulling an Amazon Prime trailer. And he just passed me like it was nobody's business. And then I caught up to him in Sac because the weather started changing and he totally slowed down. Well, I was already going slow, so I mean, I didn't have to adjust very much. I adjusted a little bit, but adjust your driving for the weather conditions. Slow down. Don't take curves so fast. Don't brake in the curve if you can. Following distances need to increase when it's wet and slick out. Make sure you have good wipers. Make sure your defrost works. These are all things that you should be doing on your pre-trip, right? But you got to make sure that they work. And if they don't, you need to pull over. Because if you can't see where you're going, you're going to hit something. So, be prepared. It's just a little bit of water. It's not that bad. Don't panic and relax. Take a deep breath. Slow down. And if you really don't feel comfortable, stop. That's the good thing about Walmart is they're not gonna challenge us, from what I've heard. We'll see. But from what I've heard, they don't challenge you and go, well, why didn't you keep going? Are you driving or am I driving? Because I'm driving, I'm going to go and pull over because I don't feel comfortable in that. Well, I would have been fine. Well, then you come drive and I'll sit in the passenger side until we get to where I feel comfortable. Right? I mean, they're not going to challenge, well, to my knowledge, they're not going to challenge us. So, if you don't feel comfortable, pull over. And if you're not with Walmart and you have a dispatcher that's pushing you, don't let him or her. You're in charge of that truck when it's on the road. Yeah, that load's got to get there. Yes, I understand. But the weather is the weather. And we used to get weather drivers coming in with weather exceptions all the time. Especially coming from Colorado or over, from Reno or anywhere else like that. So, be smart, guys. All right. This is Phil from Walmart, Right Lane Trucking. Infomercial time. Phil Delk. Driver number 40346. Again, 40346 is the driver number. I always should do that at the beginning of the infomercial. And I always forget because I'm not really trying to promote it. But, I mean, I am, but I'm not. Meaning me. Promote me. If you're here at Walmart or you're thinking about Walmart, hey, it's almost been 6 months for me. And in those 6 months, I've maybe had 6 conversations with management, and it hasn't been bad conversations. So, I don't really have any bones to pick with Walmart. I'm going to do a review of my 6 months after the 26th, because that'll be 6 months. I should do it after 7 months because I don't think the first month should count because that was during onboarding and that was during my first week of orientation and then my 2 weeks of mentoring. But I'll roll it up anyway and we'll see what the numbers are. Okay? So maybe I'll do a 6 month and then a 7 month because that'll really be my true 6 months. I'll just take out the numbers from the first month. But anyway, this is Phil from Walmart, Right Lane Truckin'. Have a safe night.